Here we go, backing tracks to George Lynch's Wicked Sensation. Okay, so for part 2 of this, we're going to talk about 3 important things. We're going to talk about volume control, making sure you have enough volume and the same amount of volume for each of the strings on your instrument. 2, in terms of music theory, we're going to talk about how this song and riff is built. And then 3rd, we're going to talk about accuracy. And accuracy is very important to make sure that the riffs, the chords, the notes, and the scales that you play, you can hear each note of the scale in the riff. Okay? So let's talk about part 1 of this. And part 1 is making sure that you have the same amount of volume, tone, and power for each of the strings. The first chord of the song is built on a simple two-string power chord based on C sharp. Okay? And what you want to do is make sure you have the same amount of volume for each of the strings. One of the major problems with students when they come in for the first time is that they're top heavy. Okay? And what that means is that they put more emphasis on this big heavy top string when they strum, and they put less volume and they put less power on the strings in the bottom. What you want is a nice, even, consistent amount of volume and power for each of the strings on your instrument. Okay? You want to hear the chord nice, clean, and the same amount of volume for both notes. Okay, now notice there with your ears that when you strum the chord, you hear both of the notes at the same time with the same amount of power and the same amount of effort on both. What we don't want is a heavy top and a light bottom. Okay? We don't want that. We want nice, same, even power for both notes. Okay, so for part 2 of this, the next part, what we're going to talk about is the music theory and how this song is built and how the song is constructed. And what we have here is a classic 1-4-5 progression in the key of F sharp minor. And that's going to be built off the F sharp natural minor scale, which is comprised of these intervals. For those of you who haven't had intervals or don't understand what that means, you need to come see me for a guitar instruction and we can talk all about that. Okay, so we're going to start with an F sharp root, okay, which is fret 2 on string 6 here. Okay, we're going to go through these intervals: root, F sharp. Next note's going to be G sharp, whole step. Okay. Half step to A, the 3rd. Whole step to B, the 4th. Whole step to C sharp. Half step to the 6th, which is D. Whole step to E. And ending on the 8th, which is a root tonic, which is F sharp. Okay? So again, that gives us a 1 root, F sharp. 2nd, G sharp. 3rd, A. 4th being B. 5th being C sharp. 6th being D. 7th being E, and 8th tonic, or the root here, is going to be F sharp, which gives us a scale that sounds like this. A 1, 4, 5 in that is going to be a root F sharp, the 4th B, the 5th C sharp, and the root F. Now what he does is, instead of, most songs usually start with the root as a chord, but what he's going to do is he's going to run that back in reverse. So instead of a 1, 4, 5 starting with the root, he's going to run a 5, 4, 1 back, which is going to give us a progression that starts with C sharp 5, B5, and the root F sharp 5. Now one of the key parts of George's playing is what's known as the flattened fifth off the blues scale. Let's talk about what that means. Okay, what he's going to do is he's going to start here on the 5th in the key of F sharp natural minor, which is C sharp. And he's going to run the blues scale off of that to create the lick that goes underneath. Okay, the blues scale sounds like this. Now what that is your basic pentatonic minor scale with the addition of an extra note called the flattened fifth. And what he's doing is he's taking the 5th note and flattening it a half step and bringing it back down here to G, which gives it a bluesy sound. This flattened fifth is the key sound to the George Lynch sound, and being able to access that in the riffs and leads that he plays is the cornerstone of how his sound is built. If you take the C sharp here and you use the notes of the blues scale off a C sharp root here, that's going to give you a sound like this. And what he's doing is he's accessing these 3 notes of the blues scale here, along with the 5th chord here. That gives us this. So the key thing here is knowing exactly what the key here is, which is F sharp natural minor, a classic 1, 4, 5 blues shape, using the blues 5, 4, 1 backwards, and then off the 5th using the blues scale to make the riff. Okay, so far we've talked about volume control and making sure you have the same amount of volume for each string. Second, we talked about music theory and how this song is built and the construction of it. And third and finally, what we're going to talk about is accuracy. And this is probably one of the most important things in order for you to identify and make the riffs that you hear on songs that you want to learn sound the same to you in your ear. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this riff slow. And we're going to show you how to take each individual note of this riff and accentuate it so that you can hear each note clear and each note has the same volume and power in terms of its accuracy. So again, we're going to start here in C sharp 5. We've already talked about the construction of the root. And this is just a strictly ear training drill to train your ear to hear when you play your riffs, you hear each note of the chord and the riff. Here we go. Now, notice in that when we're playing that riff nice and slow, you can hear each note of the riff clean. You can hear the accented notes. What we want is make sure that each one of the chords, each one of the notes, and you're picking and you're playing has the same amount of volume, and you hear each note of the chord so it's accurate and it's easily identifiable to your ear so it matches the sound and the riff that you hear when you're trying to learn your tabs and songs. So there you have it. We covered George Lynch's Wicked Sensation from his days when he was with the Lynch Mob. And And we talked about three things today in terms of your rhythm guitar playing that are very, very important. The first of that being making sure that you deliver the same volume to each string and you keep your strumming even. It's very important to make sure that all the notes have the same amount of power. Two, in terms of music theory, we talked about a 1-4-5 progression in the specified key of F sharp minor. And third and finally, we talked about accuracy. And accuracy is being able to deliver the pick on the string at the right place, the right time, where your fingers are on the fretboard to make sure that all of your notes are clean and accurate. And don't forget that your picking hand is the engine that drives this thing and makes it go. Hope you enjoy.